Guys, there's the engine case sprayed down, but out here in the sunlight you can see that paint's popping pretty good. Do I expect that cheap spray paint to last? No, I do not. Do I expect it to look that good for long? No, I do not. But what it will do is it will protect the hardware from corrosion. And since I didn't like the flat gray look of the galvanized paint, and I didn't spend the time to nickel plate everything, which is what I'm going to do on my next job. Next one of these I do, I'm just going to go ahead and nickel plate it all, and then, at least for no other reason, it gives me an excuse to make videos on how to do it. 6. So here's some of the other tidbits I sprayed just while I had them laying out. I sprayed the little brake clips, thingy dingy, the side cover, the brake pedal. I wanted to spray this black, but I didn't have any. And there's the master cylinders. So you got your master cylinders there, looking pretty good. Look what the bead blasting did to the glass. I forgot to tape that off. So yeah, when all this paint dries, I already did the other side of the engine this morning. I already did the first side and let it dry thoroughly. Now I'm letting this side dry. When that's all complete, I'm going to throw the engine in the frame, and we're going to start building this mama jama up. Okay guys, when you put this together, you want to have your brackets all just loosely fit. You don't want to torque anything down real tight. You just loosely fit it, get the engine hung in place where it's supposed to go. Alright, I'm going to try to put the swing arm in now. The engine can jiggle a little bit. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a good thing either. It can make it hard to get the collars in. I'm going to attempt to get the swing arm in now before I tighten the rest of these bolts. If I can't achieve that, then we'll have to start tightening some of these other ones to hold the motor more still. The engine more still. It's an engine, not a motor. There's no motor anywhere on this bike. It doesn't even have an electric starter. This is an engine. Alright, here we go. Let's try it. There we go. We're in, guys. That's a blessing. I don't have to do a bunch of extra work. Washer's already up in there. I took the nut off and the washer stuck to the frame with grease. So there is a washer in there. Don't forget to put that in. So now that we're able to get the swing arm pivot in while the engine's set, I like to torque this first and then go back and torque the rest. I think it's more important that the engine sits square to the swing arm than it is that it sits square to anything else. For sprocket alignment and just whatever other reasons. But I torque this first, then I go back and do the other bolts. Got the torque wrench out, a calibrated torque wrench. go Guten tight on this one, all right? Knock it off a little bit. Here we go, Guten tight. All right, let's see how free that swing arm swings through its stroke. Oh yeah, look at that. That's gorgeous. That's perfect. No play, good stroke. Example of where you can use some Yamaha. Right here, some Yama Bond. Look at that. I love that stuff. We're going to do a whole video just on that one day. But for right now, see how this wiring grommet is torn up? These wires are exposed. And there's also weather exposure to get inside the engine from the outside. I'm going to goop all that up. Make it all nice and gooped up so that no water can get through. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some Yama Bond and we'll seal this up. Okay, I got the wires held a certain way to try to apply a little bit of closing pressure on the hole. We'll smooth this over a little bit. And when this dries, it'll give security to the wiring, you know, just because it won't flop around quite as bad. And it'll be a little bit more weatherproof. Alright, it won't take no time to dry in that sunlight like that. Do these little collars back here for the counter shafts. Roll one O-ring on, and that lives in that groove. See that groove in that collar? It just kind of acts like a little bit of an oil seal on the inside. The external seal is sealing it on the outside. That O-ring just does it on the inside. And then I put another O-ring out here just to kind of pad up against the sprocket. If a little tiny microscopic bit of oil or spooge made its way out of there, you'll never know it because there's chain lube and mess everywhere anyway. But that just keeps it from making a huge mess. You want to start any flywheel job with your Woodruff key. This is what locates the flywheel to the crank so the engine knows time and everything else. They're usually pretty persnickety. Usually got to tap them with some plastic. See how I'm tapping that with this plastic screwdriver? That's not uncommon. And I like to face them. See how it's got a slight angle to it, like it's angled back there? I want to angle it out to the side like this, so that as that flywheel goes over top of it, it can find home. But before we can do the flywheel, we got to get the windings in. As you see how these have adjustable slots where this can rotate like that, that's adjusted ignition timing. I'm going to put it right in the middle, just because I don't know if I want it retarded or advanced until I ride the bike. So I'm just going to put it right in the middle, and then if I feel like I want to retard it or advance it, I'll have room to go either way.